Should we do the off-field stuff first, Luke, and get that done, and then
Yeah,
talk
sure.
about on-field matters? So, bit of interaction between fans and a couple of your players on social media this week. What do you make of all that?
Yeah, I mean, we had a chat as a group, and I think we have to be more aware of how to handle these situations. I think that it's an emotional game, and I think people, the guy's probably in the wrong emotional state when they receive messages, and we have to have a way of dealing with that much better. So we've had a group meeting, and the players all understand that can't happen again, and we have to be more switched on.
Is the problem with social media? Do you wish, as a manager, sometimes that your players just avoided social media altogether, or are there benefits from that you can get, and there's just a way of doing it?
It's so hard, that one, for me to answer, because I'm not on social media. I've never had any presence on social media. I think maybe I missed it. My generation was, when we were young, we wanted to see a friend. We go to knock on the door, and sometimes you phone the house phone, and if no one answers, that's it. They're out, and I probably missed that, and I don't really understand it completely. And I know, though, I know that it's very addictive, and I know that it can. Well, I think it can be a good thing if it's used to spread positivity and things like that, and to promote stuff. But it can also be used to try to harass people and to spread negative things. So yeah, I think that it's not going away. It's never going to go away. I think social media is only going to become more prominent in society, and people have to learn how to use it appropriately, I think.
Yeah, interesting that you say you've spoken to the players about it, and I just wonder. It's understandable from their point of view, isn't it, that they want to defend themselves when they know that things are being said about them, whether directly or not. That they want to come on, and Conor Rawlinson's long. It was all about kind of look, be positive, and you can understand that mental state to want to do that, can't you?
Yeah, I can understand, and I think if Connell took one four-letter word out of his essay, I don't think anyone can have any complaints with it. I thought it was really well written, actually. But I mean, ultimately, I think we need to be stronger than that, and not react to things. And like I say, it's coming from emotion. I understand the guys, they get criticised and they want to be able to answer the critics, but listen, answer the critics by putting in a good performance and win a game of football, and you won't find that you're getting many negative things sent your way on social media. That's the answer, and fortunately for us, we have the opportunity to affect that. We can go to training, we can review the game, and we can try harder in the next game to improve the things that were a problem. What we can't do is we can't realistically go and appeal to people and ask them to not send things, and to change the way that they look at situations and the way that they react to the game and the performances. We can't affect that, not really. So it's kind of futile to, I think, is my opinion, it's futile to try to go back with a response. People are not looking for you to respond, or they're not going to change their opinion on what they sent because you came back at them with a message. That's not the real world. It sounds nice, but it's not the real world. What they want is to see us perform on the pitch and win games of football.
It all seemed to stem from hearing some boos in the crowds in the Chesterfield game. Did that surprise you, that reaction? I know you were behind in that game, and then conceding the second goal, but after an unbeaten start so early in the season, did it surprise you to hear those noises from supporters at the weekend?
No, genuinely, I had no problem. Honestly, I had no problem with it. I felt a little bit for the players, but half time I said to them, you have me to answer to, because I'm the guy that picks the team, and I haven't got a problem with how you're playing at all. I think the guys played so well in the first half. I was really happy, and I think Chesterfield are a really, really good team, and they, of course, they're going to cause us problems, but in the flow of the game, we built up very quickly. We put the ball into the box a lot. Really, really dangerous balls. On a different day, the game could be over after 15 minutes. But I think we put 9 balls inside the box in in really in the key areas before Chesterfield registered a single shot. So I said to the guys at half time, I'm really happy with how you're playing. We need to stay focused, and the game's going to pan out, well for us. But the fans booing at half time, they're frustrated. They want us to be 3-0 up in every game, and I've got no problem with that at all. And if we're going to be so sensitive that we can't accept the fans booing us a little bit, we're in the wrong industry. They want us to win. They're desperate for us to win. They don't support another team, but they drove to Notts to buy a ticket to come in to boo to put us off. They don't. They love us. They're absolutely behind us. But in the emotion of the game and how they feel, and the emotion of the recent history of the football club, they are so frustrated at times, and so engaged in the game that their emotion spills over into booing us to try and motivate. Is their way to try and motivate me and the players to do better. And maybe you can say it's counterproductive, but we have to understand they're not booing us because they want us to lose. They're not. They're not booing us because they're booing us the opposite. They're booing us to say, please come on, do more. We want to celebrate with you. We want you to score. And when the guys showed so much courage and so much aggression going forward to try to get back on terms, the atmosphere in the ground was absolutely incredible. It was so good I could feel the energy there, and we have to accept that the fans cannot be in the ground so committed to us, so behind us, but then be so level-headed to say, oh, okay, they're doing all right, but they went 1-0 down. No, of course they're emotional, and their emotions spilled over into boos. For me, no problem, and I need to tell the players, relax. You're playing well. The emotion is come out in boos, but that's it. And I thought that they responded really well, and we want the fans to come and support us week in, week out. And we genuinely love the fans. The ones that boo, we love them. We want them there, and we need to give them all the time something to cheer about instead.
Busy weekend ahead. 2 games in 3 days. How do you manage that when you've got, it's not like a Premier League size squad where you can change all 11 just a couple of days later? How do you manage it when it's 2 big games in the space of 3 days?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know yet, and I think that we're trying to plan different things, but until you play the first game, realistically, you cannot plan properly for the second game. And it's not a case of we one game we're not bothered, one game we try we can't do that. We have to go and try and win 2 games back to back, and yeah, of course we have to use the squad correctly, because we're fortunate we have a lot of good players, but at the same time we know that certain players are in front of other players in the pecking order at the moment. So we have to go strong in both games. We have to try to play to win both games. But of course, after the first one, there will be things that are taken out of our control, because potentially a player is no longer available, or something like that. Touch wood, everyone comes through the first game fine. But yeah, we're talking about with the staff about potential this, potential that. But realistically, until the first game is done, we can't properly plan for the second one. I think it's only really the Christmas schedule at certain seasons I've been involved that is something similar to this, but is incredibly difficult for all of us. But we're here to entertain. That's why they put the games on Boxing Day, and that's why they have the games over the Christmas period, because we are the Christmas and the Boxing Day entertainment, and we're very lucky to be able to say that we're in an industry where we're there to try to entertain the fans and that, so we have to get on with it.
Yeah, interesting one against Halifax. To talk about the expectations that you have at Notts, and after such a good season last year for Halifax, they've lost a manager, lost a couple of key players, and now haven't won a game and haven't even scored a goal at the start of this season. What are you expecting to get from there, where there's a team clearly capable, because so many of them were there last season when they were finishing even above Notts in the National League, but have started clearly with a few problems?
Yeah, and I think it's very early, so we'd be very foolish to judge this team at this stage. They are not going to lay down and let us have things how we want them. They're gonna have planned for us, and they're going to be a dangerous opposition. We've got no doubt about that at all. And we watched them, and they've been unlucky not to have scored goals, and they could have come away as winners as well. So we know we're going there for a tough game. We know that there's players there. Yeah, maybe they had a bit of a hangover after a long season and getting so close to achieving. Maybe there's a bit of a hangover there, but we need to be on our guard, because they're not in the position that they should be, really.
Good stuff, Luke. Thanks very much. Best of luck over the weekend. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Ollie, anything to add?
Yeah, just a couple of bits. So there's been reports that you're interested in signing Brad Young, goalie from Leicester. Is there any truth in those reports, or is just a little bit of transfer rumours that's circulated around?
No, we obviously we played Leicester, as you know, and we thought that he was very interesting for us on that day, so we tried to monitor him more. So hopefully, if it's the right thing for both parties, we maybe can make that deal happen. And if that's the case, we will all be very pleased. Myself and the staff that have been looking at Bradley. So yeah, we'd be happy if that one came.
And then just an update on Aiden Baldwin. Obviously, he came off against Chesterfield late on. Has he managed to train at all in the lead up to the weekend, or is he unavailable?
Yeah, no, he trained, and we feel like maybe we are getting on top of the issue. We don't know whether or not he's going to be able to play 2 games so close together. So we have to keep a very close eye. But we're in a better position than we expected to be, far better. And Aiden came through 2 days training really well. So that's really positive.